Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this late Friday night, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I know it's kind of late, but SmackDown's on till 11 o'clock Eastern Time, which, by the way, that's changing in 3 weeks, starting 3 weeks from tonight on Friday, August 1st. SmackDown's going back to 2 hours. But as of right now, it's still on till 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central. And I know a lot of people watch that, so I wanted to make sure it was off before I came on here. Good evening, Keveron, as always. I appreciate you stopping by. It's always a good day to have a Clemson Tiger fan here on the chat and here on the channel as well. But I'm hoping since it's Friday night, there'll be some people that'll still be up. But I wanted to come on here and talk about WWE's Evolution because it comes up Sunday. This week we've already talked about Saturday night's main event. I talked some about Great American Bash. We've talked about AEW's All In, but we have not talked about WWE's Evolution. And that comes up Sunday from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. It's the first Evolution to broadcast on Netflix and Peacock, and the second overall Evolution following the inaugural event back in 2018. Now, I appreciate what they're trying to do to the women's division, but if you're going to have an all-women's PLE to make people realize that you're taking the women seriously and not just using them as eye candy, you're going to have to do the event every year. Doing it once every 7 years just ain't going to work, because if you can wait 7 years to do it, then even you yourself are not taking the women that seriously. Now, I know 7 years ago Vince McMahon was still in charge. I'm just talking about for the future of the company. If you're going to take the women seriously and show the fans that you are, you're going to have Evolution either every year as a premium live event, or you're going to have like a Saturday night's main event once every year that's all women, or a Raw every now and then it's all women. You can't have a PLE once every 4 or 5 years it's all women and say we're taking the women seriously, because you're not. Hello, Eddie. Glad to have you here again on this Friday night. Hey there, Charlie. Glad to have you here on this Friday night. And hey there, 1776. Glad to have you here. But let's go ahead and talk about Evolution. We've got JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Soruka and Zarya versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Then we're going to have a Women's Battle Royal. I'm sure there'll be some surprises in the Battle Royal. And then we've got Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no-holds-barred match. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria in a triple threat match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, this takes place Sunday night, State Farm Arena in Atlanta. 7 o'clock Eastern Time is the start time. Now, there was a time that, even though Triple H said he was taking the women's division, more seriously, it was hard to believe that because for the most part, even though they could wrestle, most of the storylines just didn't make sense. And you could tell that nobody was really taking time for the women because they were out there doing their job, putting on great matches, but it was just thrown together matches. But now, for the most part, with the exception of, I still have no idea what they're doing with Alexa Bliss, but outside of her, for the most part now, all the women, in my personal opinion, have been booked better than the men. All the women are in good storylines, and all the women are in spots where you know who they are, and you know the direction they're going, and you know what they're doing with them. With the men, this whole Seth Rollins faction is beyond stupid. The way they booked Goldberg and Gunther was stupid. Now, the match will be great because Gunther's in it. Gunther could wrestle a screen door and the match be good. So I'm not worried about the match not being good, but I'm just talking about the process of the building up to the match was stupid. But outside of Alexa Bliss, I think all the women right now are being booked properly. It's almost like they have Alexa Bliss and they know she's there and they know she's good, so they know that whenever they get ready to use her, she can go out there and put on an A+ effort. But for the past year, like, she's gone, she was gone because she originally was hurt. And then she was out because she had a baby. But then she came back and they said she was cleared and she was nowhere to be found. And then she shows up at the Rumble and she's gone again. Then she shows up at the Chamber and she's gone again. And it's like she shows up to the big events and then she's gone. But she hasn't really done anything of note since she came back. But outside of her, I think all the women right now are being booked great. Better than the men for the most part. So I'm glad they're doing this, but now that Triple H is in charge, if you're going to show the world that you're taking the women seriously and they're no longer just eye candy, they're out there to do their job and put on great matches just like the men are, you're going to have Evolution every year. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. But this one should be good. Of course, they had to do some rebooking and replanning because of the Liv Morgan injury. And then the Liv Morgan injury happening about a month before the show, you basically have about a month to go back and rebook and redo the entire card. So we really don't know what the original plan was, but this is what we got now. And I think they're all going to be fantastic matches. I'm excited about the Battle Royal just to see, are we going to see Brie Bella? Are we going to see Jazz? Are we going to see Kelly Kelly? Are we going to see Molly Holly? Are we going to see Lita? A lot of the older women that Victoria that are no longer there, they could show up and be in the Battle Royal. There's also word going around that since Paige has left AEW that she's going to show back up Sunday. I guess we'll find out. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My family was so proud of me for getting Red Cross certified and learning the Heimlich maneuver that they all choked up. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Before I say bye, remember, I've got 2 wrestling shows tomorrow, so there's no way I'll be able to do a video tomorrow. I'll be on the road from early tomorrow morning until late Saturday night. May even not get home until early Sunday morning. So no video tomorrow. And if you don't see one and you wonder why, That's why. But next week, hopefully, we can catch up on all this wrestling taking place over the weekend and get back to talking some college football. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.